Number one dating coach. Number one helper of men's self-improvement. Number one explainer of female nature. Basically number one at everything, here to drop another raw, brutal truth. One that you're probably not going to want to hear. But let's be real for a second. We just crossed 1,500 dudes inside of my community. I've been helping these guys learn, understand, and master the language of women. And on top of that, I set a new goal. My goal is to bring 1 million guys into this community. And the reason being is because I truly believe that that is going to be the number needed to actually start to change the dating dynamic. That's why I set it at that number. You need to hop into that because it is some of the most life-changing content and material I have ever made when it comes to the best processes of understanding female nature in your own dating life. Now, for today's video, why women secretly admire and lust after men who cheat. And why she won't admit this. Wow, that is an amazing title. Let's just read that one more time. Why women secretly admire and lust after men who cheat. She will not admit this. What's she going to do? She's going to keep this hidden from you. Her nature is to hide this from you. Let's dive in. All right, there's no way I can give that much high energy through this whole video. I'm going to get tired. Women try to conceal the brutal truth of what they're actually attracted to. Okay, so here's what I want you to know going into this. These truths that I'm about to show you have been hidden from men for years. And that's also why I'm so passionate about the community that I'm building, is because I'm finally giving these guys some inside information that they've never been exposed to, which is honestly the coolest part. But these truths have been hidden from men for so many years. So this is why women will conceal the truth of what they're actually attracted to. Yes, I'm going to say that one more time. Women conceal the truth of what they are actually attracted to. They try to keep it hidden from you. Okay? They try to keep it hidden from you. I'm going to say that one more time in a different way so it really sinks in. Right? It's just like when you're in high school, the algebra tutor who has to say something 4 different ways before you go, oh my gosh, yeah, that makes sense. Women don't want you to know what they are attracted to. They want it hidden. So here's why they conceal it. First, it gives them the leverage. If you don't know what they're attracted to, now they can actually see how you act and operate in your natural state. The second reason is because it filters out guys who are actually not competent. You see, a competent man knows how to act around women, which is why he has romantic access. Last but not least, she sees which guys automatically trust her words. So when she says, oh, I really want a nice guy who's sweet and loving and loyal and caring and stable and predictable, she sees which men automatically trust her words. And guess what? When you trust her words of what she claims that she's attracted to, it gives her good reason to reject you because you're demonstrating that you don't have raw competence of female nature. Wow. That is a big truth that needs to sink in. When you trust her words, when you believe what she's attracted to, it gives her reason to reject you because you're demonstrating that you don't have the raw competence of female nature. What does that mean? Well, that gives her inside information that lets her know that you probably are not sleeping with anybody. You probably don't have access to any other women at or above her current level of attractiveness. Therefore, she now knows that you are not pre-selected. You want to always emulate the movements, behavioral patterns of a pre-selected man until you become one. This is how you develop options. So, before I get into why women secretly admire and lust after men who cheat, what we have to do is we have to actually look at what women actually consider to be the bad boy. Because guys go, well, does that mean that I swear a lot? Does that mean that I'm mean? What's a bad boy? What's an actual bad boy? What does that mean? Okay, it's not, oh, he's mean. It's not, oh, he does bad things. What is a bad boy in the eyes of women? A bad boy in the eyes of women is a man who does not commit. Okay? It's purely, he isn't content with just one woman in a monogamous relationship, and he sleeps with other women who he is not committed to. In the eyes of a woman, when it comes to a romantic example, this would be a bad boy. That's the bad boy. Women only lust after the bad boy. She only feels raw desire for the bad boy because he has other traits that signals pre-selection. And women look at him and go, well, if other women are sleeping with him, if other women desire him, there must be so much value there. I should probably go down that path too. Okay? So here's why women respect this guy. Why do women respect this guy? Well, first and foremost, number one, he's gained romantic access to women without committing to her. Women notice this. When she sees that you've gained romantic access without needing to commit, she goes, wow, that player right there, that guy's got something going on. I got to check that out. Number two, women appear to share him, so he must be higher value than the guy who has to commit. This is how it starts to register in her mind. She goes, well, if he gains romantic access and women are even willing to share him, well, there must be a reason. There must be something really good about him, okay? And then last but not least, number three, she goes, well, what's so good about him to give him the confidence to not act like all the other men? See, this is what you have to know. Majority of men are in this category of nice guy who want a loving, loyal, stable, predictable relationship with just one woman. And because of that, it naturally turns women off. So I don't really care how that makes you feel. This is something that you have to understand. Once we've understood these two columns, now we can understand these three steps right here as to why women secretly admire and lust after the men who cheat. So the only way I can demonstrate this is if I show you how women think. So this column is how women think step one. This column is how women think step two. And then this column is how women think step three. Now, you're going to notice an underlying narrative of all three of these columns. The underlying narrative of these three columns right here is that this is her core fantasy of romance, okay? Because we are moving the storyline and the narrative and the novel that she needs in her mind that facilitates her idea of true love. So step one would be getting to be chosen as one of his options. Step two, later on, you're going to learn why she starts to have thoughts and goes, well, what's so different about me? Why did he choose me? And then last but not least, it's how do I change him to just commit to me? This is her core fantasy and her core narrative of romance. Anybody out there who is teaching you social skills, anybody out there who is teaching you confidence, anybody out there who is teaching you dating dynamics and is not talking about this is completely missing the raw point that actually needs to be discussed that so few people are willing to address. All of the other stuff is completely irrelevant if you misunderstand her core fantasy. So, step one, how women think step one, getting to be chosen as one of his options. So when this happens, there's a few things that occur, okay? For once, she's not just with an average man, okay? She's not with just an average man who just doesn't really have very many options. She's finally with a guy who appears pre-selected. Okay, getting to be chosen as one of his options. So the feeling that she gets would be this, okay? It's almost like it feels like a privilege or an achievement to be chosen as one of his options. She goes, wow, I must be really beautiful. Okay, it feels like an achievement to even be selected as one of his romantic options. Meanwhile, there's tons of nice guys just praying to God to get a girlfriend. Every single day they're saying, oh, please, God, just give me an amazing girlfriend. Oh, please, I'll do anything. Every night I'm going to say my prayers that I get this loving, loyal woman. And then every day, every month, every week, every year, whatever, they're not very happy because they never obtain this relationship. So keep that in mind, okay? Now, on top of that, she can't believe that she's beautiful enough that he chose her, okay? So on top of that, she will even probably start thinking, oh, how can I change, okay, to maybe be exactly what he wants? This is the narrative in her mind. How can I change, or how can I be exactly what this one pre-selected man is looking for? Okay? And then what you're going to notice is all other options become irrelevant that she could have access to. Like, she doesn't even care. When she comes across a pre-selected guy, she's like, yeah, that guy over there, I don't really care anymore that he's tall, because other women want this guy. Oh, that guy over there who's rich, I don't really care anymore because other women want this guy. This is what women want. Women want to follow what the other women want and what the other women are attracted to. That's what women do when it comes to their own dating and their own mating choices, when it comes to their own romantic interests. So this is step one. Okay, how women think. She goes, wow, I have finally been chosen as one of his options. Now, once this happens, okay, step two occurs. So how women think step two, a narrative in her mind starts to shift. And she starts to say, well, what's different about me? I wonder if there's something different about me. Is it my personality? Is it my smile? Does he think I'm really beautiful? Is it because he likes the sound of my voice? What is it about me? Is it because I wear really cool shoes? What is it about me that he likes? So this is the one thing that women really, really want to feel a lot of times. She wants to feel like she is not like all of the other women that you could be with. Because this allows her to feel like the bond of the relationship is actually real. Okay? So step 2, she goes, well, what's different about me? So here's the thing that you have to know. You'll hear almost all women that you date say a variation of these 3 things, okay? Listen to me very closely. Every woman I've ever dated in my entire life over the past 10 or 11 years has all said one of these things or a combination of all 3 of these things. Every woman that I've ever dated, they go, I'm not like other women. I'm not like all the other girls. This is the first thing that they say. The second thing that they say is they go, I'm different. I don't act the way that other women do. Okay? And the third thing that they say is they go, most women aren't on my level in my journey. Most women are not on my level emotionally or spiritually where I'm at in my journey. This is what women will say. They will all say a variation of these 3 things. Now you got to notice something here. This is where the word competency has to kick in. You need to notice something. Since almost all women that you will date and every single woman that I've dated says these things, you're going to notice that they all say the same thing, which would make their behavior all the same. However, they all claim that they are different. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you that her words don't match her actions. A competent man sees this. A player sees this. A guy who's pre-selected sees this. This is why he's pre-selected, because he's smarter than all the other guys. So here's what most guys do. They go, oh, that bad boy over there, oh, he's such a loser. How could he not commit to her? Okay, meanwhile, he doesn't see that that guy has way more competence when it comes to his actual dating life. So notice this. The words don't match her actions. This is women's narrative right here, which is why I'm telling you over here that they try to keep these truths hidden from you. So if every woman that I've ever dated in my life has all said these 3 things or a variation of these 3 things, you have to understand something. They will oftentimes all say these things and they will claim to be different, but the words don't match their actions. So how women have kept nice guys confused for decades, long story short, is by doing this. Okay, here's how women have kept nice guys confused for decades. She knows deep down that virtually all women act the exact same, because deep down she knows that all women will tend to copy what all of the other women do, okay? So with this guy, okay, she hopes something automatically is different about her. And when I say with this guy, what I'm talking about is the pre-selected bad boy that she actually wants. This is why women secretly admire and lust after men who cheat, okay? But what you have to know is this is how she's kept nice guys confused, or how women have kept nice guys confused for decades, is because she knows that deep down virtually all women act the same, but she can get him to believe in something else. So it's really funny. Men can see something with their own 2 eyes and see what's true. And then a woman could come along and say, no, it's like this and this and that. And then the guy will actually believe her, even though what he saw with his own 2 eyes was different. So most men are very easily misled. And as soon as she comes across a guy who isn't easily misled, he automatically appears to be higher level than all the other dudes that she could be with. This is why the bad boy is pre-selected, because he doesn't behave and operate like all the other nice guys. So this is how women think step 2. She starts to say, well, what's different about me? So before we get into step 3, let's recap quick. Step 1, she feels honored that she was chosen as one of his options. Now step 2, she goes, well, why me? What's different about me? Why is step 2 crucial? Step 2 is crucial because step 3 needs to occur, which is her saying, how can I change him and get him to commit to just me? Now, she's saying this, how can I change him and get him to commit to just me? Because in step 2, when she goes, what's different about me? She's hoping that she can use and utilize what is different about her in order to change him, so that way he likes her more than everybody else. So step 3, now she goes, how can I change him and get him to commit to just me. So the bad boy player stimulates feelings of inadequacy and competition that the nice guy just can't. He can't do it. He can't do it because he doesn't have the options to do so. He can't do it because he doesn't have the experience. He can't do it because he has not spent the time to curate his own idea of romance for himself. And he's not able to see it through the lens of a woman. So the bad boy stimulates these feelings of inadequacy and competition that the nice guy just can't. Here's the brutal truth that you need to know. Women lust after cheaters because it means she was with a man who can cheat in the first place when most men can't. Wow. That is a brutal truth. Let's say that one more time. Women lust after cheaters because it means that she was with a man who can cheat in the first place where most men can't. Women know deep down that most men have virtually no options. And women know deep down that virtually all men typically are not very attractive to most women. So keep that in mind. She feels honored that she was even chosen, okay, or she was even considered an option in the first place. So what does that mean? She knows that her beauty is probably on a higher level than most women. And this makes her feel good. But now what she's trying to do is she's trying to change him. Okay? And this is why women will typically lust after men who cheat and really admire men who cheat, because it means that she was beautiful enough to be with a cheater in the first place. Okay? So what's the conclusion? After I told you all this, what's the conclusion? The conclusion is this. Women know that a cheater has way higher SMV than one who doesn't. Okay, a cheater typically has higher dating value than one who doesn't. Now notice, I didn't say that he has higher social status. I didn't say that he has higher amounts of finances. I didn't say that he is taller. I didn't say that he has better six-pack abs than the other guy. See, it's funny, all those materialistic status metrics that men tell themselves are important, men just gravitate towards what they think logically. So you can tell a guy all you want, oh, women follow their own emotions. You can tell a guy that all you want. And what's the first thing that he still does, even if he believes like he knows what he's talking about? He still will go to what makes logical sense on his mind. And what makes logical sense in his mind is looks, money, and status. And then he finally sees the cold reality that oftentimes it doesn't come down to that. It comes down to who is pre-selected. And a lot of times the guy who's pre-selected does not have any of those traits to begin with. Keep that in mind. So, women know that a cheater has way higher dating value than one who doesn't. He now completes her fantasy of being chosen by the bad boy. So, she thinks something is different about her, even though she knows that most likely nothing is. And now she hopes to change him by leveraging the qualities of her saying, well, I think I found something different about me, and now I can apply this to my dating situation with this guy. Okay, and here's the funniest thing about this. In life, you will start to notice that the worse you act, the better you're treated by almost all women. If you like this video, I want you to take this a step further. I want you to help me grow this community, help be part of the movement, and join us inside of this so that way you can start to learn, understand, and master the language of women. And together, what we can now do on this shared mission together is start to change the dating dynamic so that way men actually know what they're doing for once, and men finally have real support systems in their corner to make their dating life far easier, because most guys don't have access to that. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.